a deadly viper that hides in plain sight, whose bite may result in amputation or even death, a tarantula so massive it can eat birds, and a giant disease-ridden snail. These are disturbing creatures found in remote jungles that shocked experts. The Gaboon Viper is a snake found in the jungles of Africa. They can grow pretty large, up to 6 feet long, and they're built to blend in with their surroundings. Its pattern looks almost like dead leaves or tree bark, so it's nearly impossible to spot unless you're looking carefully. But when it feels threatened, it strikes fast, and their fangs can grow up to 2 inches long. The venom is highly toxic, causing rapid, painful swelling, intense pain, and possibly severe shock. The area around the bite can blister up, you might see bruising. In more serious cases, the venom messes with your entire body, can cause uncoordinated movement, make you lose control of your bladder or bowels, and cause your tongue and eyelids to swell up. Eventually, it'll lead to convulsions, loss of consciousness, your BLOOD might stop clotting. If the bite's bad enough, doctors might need to surgically remove tissue or even take off an entire limb. You get the point. This can all get pretty life-threatening. Even after being treated, healing takes time, and there have been cases where people have died during recovery. And a lot of bites occur because people will just accidentally step on these things. That's how well camouflage they are. Plus, they move quietly. They don't rattle or hiss before they attack. They just sit there waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The Goliath Birdeater is this massive tarantula found in the rainforests of northern South America, like Brazil and Venezuela. It's the largest spider in the world by weight and size, and its leg span can reach up to 12 inches or 30 centimeters. They spend most of their time in burrows, only coming out at night to hunt. You'll mostly find them in the Amazon rainforest, hiding in marshy, swampy areas. In terms of what they eat, well, you'd guess it's birds, based on the name, and yeah, they'll eat a bird if they feel like it, but birds don't make up the bulk of their diet. The fact that they can, though, is just horrifying. They'll mostly eat large insects, frogs, and small reptiles. How they eat is also super icky though. A bird eater will drag its prey back to its burrow and then suck out all its liquids, kind of like a chupacabra. And when threatened, the Goliath Birdeater gets defensive. It'll rub its legs and abdomen to release tiny hairs that'll irritate your skin and mucous membranes. It can also bite. Thankfully, their venom isn't deadly to humans, but it is painful, a bit like a wasp sting in terms of pain. But who cares about the venom? We're talking about a 12-inch spider. If that doesn't give you the ick, I'm really not sure what will. A giant African land snail is a pretty incredible looking animal. They really live up to the giant title. I mean, look at these things. For a snail, that is downright terrifying, but these creatures aren't as exotic as you'd think they are, at least not now. Originally in the jungles of Africa, these snails have been causing a lot of trouble around the world as an invasive species. They're found in urban areas and agricultural land nowadays, where they wreak havoc on crops and spread disease. They like to hide during the day, typically in shady spots like leaf piles or tree trunks. They're most at home in warmer, humid environments, but they can tolerate a wide range of temperatures too, even freezing cold. They can also survive without food or water for long stretches of time by sealing themselves in their shells. And this adaptability makes them pretty dangerous when you consider the fact that they carry a parasite that can cause a dangerous form of meningitis in humans. If you eat one of these things raw or even touch one, at times you could get infected, and this parasite can be life-threatening. These giant snails also transmit plant diseases, so farmers absolutely hate these things. There have been times when flamethrowers have had to be used to try and eradicate them. Bullet ants, found in the rainforests of South America, aren't just any ordinary ants. These things are known for having the most powerful sting in the insect world. The pain is said to feel quite literally like being shot, and the pain lasts for hours. Some will even say up to 24 hours. And during that time, it's almost impossible to think about anything else. I would probably rather die than go through that. It's so bad that people have described it as feeling like fire walking over your skin. Bullet ants are pretty large too, about the size of your pinky. And they aren't shy creatures. They're super aggressive and territorial, so if you get too close to their colony, expect to feel the full brunt of their sting. Their sting is so notorious that some Amazonian tribes will use them for initiation rituals. Young men will wear these gloves filled with these ants, and the gloves are left on for usually about 10 minutes, and they're just bitten repeatedly. Next up we have bull sharks. Yes, these sharks are often found in the Amazon River as well. They're known for being one of the most dangerous sharks in the world. They're aggressive, territorial, and they can live in both saltwater and freshwater. This means they can be found in places like the Amazon River, where they lurk in murky water, often coming pretty close to the shore. These sharks will eat pretty much anything. They'll go after fish, birds, river dolphins, and mammals, humans included. They're big too. Female bull sharks can reach about 8 feet long and weigh over 290 pounds, while males are a little smaller. But there are rare cases of bull sharks getting even bigger, hitting up to 13 feet. On top of that, they're pretty bulky, with a body shape that makes them heavier than other sharks of similar length. And not only are these sharks one of the 3 shark species most likely to attack humans, they also have an insanely powerful bite. Their jaw pressure can reach up to 1,330 pounds of force, which pound for pound is said to be the strongest bite of any shark species. To put it simply, they can just crush almost anything with their teeth. The Brazilian wandering spider is one of the deadliest spiders in the world. Its venom can cause excruciating pain, and in some cases it's even fatal. But what really sets this spider apart is its style of hunting. Most spiders wait around in their webs for their prey to come to them, but the Brazilian wandering spider actually goes out and looks for its food. They're nocturnal, so at night they roam the jungle chasing down insects, amphibians, and even small mammals like mice. They're big, hairy, and incredibly fast. They'll often sprint after their prey and then pounce on it. If you're camping in the jungle, you might end up with one of these things crawling into your tent. The Harpy Eagle. This is one of the most terrifying but impressive birds of prey in the world. These things are massive, with a wingspan that can stretch up to 7 feet. They have the biggest talons of any living eagle, some as long as 5 inches, big enough to snatch up sloths and monkeys right out of the trees, which is mostly what they hunt. They're not the type to sit and wait like some birds of prey. Harpy eagles actively roam the jungle in search of their food, often swooping down from a perch to grab their prey. Their preferred hunting ground is the dense lowland rainforests of Central and South America, where they stalk the treetops. They're strong enough to pick up prey that weighs about half their own body weight. And when hunting, they'll grab their prey with those massive talons, fly off with them, and bring them back to their nest. Next up is the Satanic leaf-tailed gecko. That's right, we have a gecko spawned from the fiery pits of hell. Forget that gecko from those car insurance commercials. These things look like they were forged from magma. It gets its nickname for a reason. I mean, look at it. Its body is shaped like a dead leaf, and it has a tail that looks like it's been chewed up and spat out. And this is no accident. The gecko's appearance is a way of blending in with the forest environment of Madagascar. And this gecko has the ability to change color. It's not like a chameleon that shifts through a rainbow of colors, but more like it can match the color and pattern of its immediate surroundings. Again, this helps the gecko avoid being someone else's lunch. Also, those eyes. They're huge, reddish orange, and have vertical pupils, super devilish looking. And I love when these things go all red and like lava looking. Really cool. Their eyes are also adapted for low light conditions, helping these geckos hunt for insects in the dimly lit forests. Next up we have eyes. These things look like creatures you'd see on whatever planet the Greys come from. Just very creepy and alien looking. Eyes are some weird creatures. They're lemurs, but not really the cute fluffy ones that you typically think of. These guys look like they've been pieced together from various different animals. They're just really mangy looking. I don't know, some people might find these cute. I just don't. They have big eyes and bushy tails, which sounds pleasant enough, but their most distinctive feature is their freakishly long, thin fingers. Again, very alien looking. Their middle finger is especially elongated, which is kind of awesome, but they use it for tapping on tree bark to find grubs and insects hiding underneath. There's also a myth that they're a harbinger of bad luck. Some folks in Madagascar, where eyes are again found, believe these creatures are omens of doom, and some think that if an eye points its long, bony finger at you, bad luck is coming your way. Finally, we have Darwin's bark spider. Darwin's bark spider, a small arachnid also native to Madagascar, builds incredible webs. While the spider itself is quite small, its webs are absolutely colossal, sometimes spanning rivers. And they're sturdy too. If you come across one without knowing anything about these spiders, you'd probably think Shelob was stalking the forest. The silk they produce to build their webs is incredibly strong. In fact, it's approximately 10 times stronger than Kevlar. The females, which are bigger than the males, build webs that can sometimes measure around 80 feet across. The strength and size of their webs allows them to capture not only small insects, but also larger prey. Webs are often found with upwards of 30 prey insects caught in them. With all that said, I've been your host James, and I'll catch you, yes you specifically, in the next video.